Hey, happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to the kickoff of summer. Looking forward to featuring Gaston's Bakery and Mill today. And this chamber check-in series started about 5.5 years ago. We featured hundreds of chamber member businesses. And I just wanted to say on behalf of the whole entire chamber and our leadership, thank you for your investment in the chamber for all these years. It means a lot to us. It helps fuel our programs and services that aim to enhance this place. Well, today I have a special treat for you all. I met Mathieu a long time ago, back in the early 2000s, when he had the restaurant, the Café de Paris. And I remember, if you guys all remember the crepes that were downtown. But Mathieu arrived in Boise from Burgundy, France in 2001 and opened up that French restaurant. It was a full daily dine-in menu and really popular here downtown. And now the focus is on the bakery, and I can't wait to bring him on stage. So I'm going to bring Mathieu on right now. Hi, Mathieu.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, thanks for carving out some time. I know it is probably your happy hour right about now.
Yeah, it's a busy day, but we're doing good. How are you?
I'm terrific. I know the bakery business starts at midnight and ends never. So tell us a little bit about you, Mathieu. Tell us a little bit about your background. I kind of shared when you moved to Boise and Idaho, but tell us a little bit about how you got involved in and being an entrepreneur and in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me. The story, so I lived in Burgundy. I grew up in Burgundy, and my parents had hotels and restaurants over there. So I learned the trade. I started with Café de Paris here in Boise in 2003, I believe. But I learned all that from them. So I grew up in a restaurant around good food, around gastronomy, and always the pleasure to please guests, to make people happy through food and to serve customers. So I did that over there a little bit, moved here, opened the cafe, and I was looking for breads, and I couldn't really find what I was looking for. So I was like, well, let's make our own. And so we started making our own breads and croissants at the bakery, and from for the restaurant, and then from there the wholesale baking kind of started, with other restaurants or coffee shop asking us if we could sell them some of our breads and pastries. So that's kind of like how we got started. But the background, yeah, definitely French gastronomy, and no shortcuts. We like good products, so that's what we do.
That's terrific. Your family still in the restaurant industry?
No, they retired.
Okay.
But my daughter is now going to an hospitality school, so she may follow. And so right now I'm fifth generation to have opened a restaurant in my family. So we'll know
Wow.
if she'll be six. I don't know.
Well, during COVID, I was working in the grocery stores for a little bit because I didn't know what was going to happen, right? Got to keep bread on the table. Um, and remember when there was no toilet paper, there was no lentils, there was no flour, there was no yeast. Everybody bought everything. Um, and then I saw your bags of flour on the shelves. And I thought, this is one of those success stories that came out of COVID. Can you help share that a little bit?
Yeah, so that was, well, like everybody else, it's kind of crazy times at the moment. And so all the restaurants closed, which is 75% of our business, because we're mostly wholesale. And at the same time, there's no flowers in the grocery store, and we have our awesome meal here. And so I'm trying to contact Albertson. I was like, hey, I can do some flour for you guys. And at first they're like, well, you're too small. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. Whatever I'll do will be more than what you have. So let us do it. And they did. And they're like, okay, you get load up all the stores that you can. And so obviously we stayed locally, right? So there was about 20 or 25 Albertsons in the valley. And so we started the entire crew that we had baking, started milling and bagging breads. And so we were able to keep full time for all the staff, and some of them are still with us today. And we talk about it sometimes that how crazy it was, or like one day we lose all our wholesale business, and then the next day we gain a whole bunch of flower business, and then people were buying flour at the store, and so that was fun. All our friend even Rupert was a farmer. They truck came here with a couple of trucks loaded up with wheat, and we were milling as much as we could. So that was really neat. We were really fortunate.
Speaking of your mill, which I think people just don't understand, did you buy this mill and bring it to Boise? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the milling started after the bakery. So the bakery we started in 2006, the wholesale. And I've eaten bread my entire life. And then about 10 years ago, we started hearing people being gluten intolerant, 10, 12 years ago. And at first, we all thought like, that's a fad, that's some kind of diet or something. And then I started researching it, and I was like, no, the wheat or the flours that are made and the way some of the industrial breads are made are making people sick. And so I did a lot of research on wheat and on milling. And then I was like, well, you know what? Now we started making our breads from the restaurant. Now we're going to start making our flour from the bakery, and researched different types of milling. And we found an awesome mill that is actually built in Oregon, in Portland. It's called a unifying mill. So it's a technique that is whole milling. So everything is crushed at the same time. So we keep all the oils and nutrients and the germ in the wheat, and then we sift more or less of it depending on what we want to do. So yeah, so now if you've ever been at the bakery outside, we have silos. It's not just for looks; they are full of wheat. Some of them are now empty because we're getting close to harvest time, so we're getting ready to replenish all those. And our goal is to be, hopefully before the end of the year, 100% house milled, which we
Wow,
would be the only wholesale bakery in the U.S. to do that. So we're very excited.
that's incredible.
Well, thank you.
I don't know that people understand when they go to our restaurants or they go into the grocery stores, they go into coffee shops and they buy croissants, hoagies, buns, breads, that it's likely, and those brioche buns, it's likely a Gaston's product.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of places are, and if you go to a place that doesn't use us, please let them know that they should. But yeah, so we do uh, the way we sell our product. So the main way we sell our product is fresh in the valley, wholesale. So our customers order today. They have until 11 a.m. to order. We'll deliver anything they want tomorrow fresh.
Wow.
If it's a coffee shop, it'll be delivered by 6 a.m. If it's a supermarket or a restaurant, it'll be delivered between 8 and 11 a.m. So a day like tomorrow is a busy day for us. We have a little bit over 90 stops. A slow day is probably right around 60. So we do we do fresh products, so our customers don't need to stock a lot because we're going to be there every day to give them more fresh product. If you go into the co-ops, for example, which is a great partner for us since day one, every day we bring everything fresh. We credit, we buy back everything that's not sold, and we donate that to ensure that when you go to the store, everything is optimum quality.
Matthew, being in the grocery industry for 2 decades, I realize the type of labor that takes. How many people do you have on your team?
We're close to 40 now,
Wow.
but it doesn't look like that many because we run 24/7. So there's 2 hours in the day, so between 1 and 3 a.m. where there's usually nobody working. But other than that, there's always somebody working. If we want to do fresh bread, you got to deliver early, and then you have to clean, get organized, start mixing, take the orders. And we have a little retail store here that is open from 8 to 2 every day. That is
Oh,
stocked with fresh product as well.
so we can find your products in local restaurants that buy wholesale from you,
Yeah.
local coffee shops, high-end restaurants, you name it. We can also buy retail from your shop.
Retail at the bakery, yeah.
Okay.
Um, then if you're outside of Boise, like the neighboring markets, like Valley County, a little bit of Oregon, a little bit of Wyoming and Utah, we distribute with food distributor, whether Shamrock or Cisco, US Foods. And then our third way to sell our product is frozen online retail with a company called Sur La Table or Sur La Table. And they've been carrying our croissants and flowers for a very long time now.
I saw that. I went right to your website. In fact, I'm going to share your website so folks can see how to check you out. I did see the Sur La Table, and that's just a landing page where I can order fresh
Yeah,
Gaston's
you can
Bakery products to my
anywhere.
house.
Yeah, anywhere in anywhere in the U.S. beside Hawaii and Alaska because of the dry ice. So right now we're revisiting the program, and so a lot of items are going to change this summer for some really cool stuff. But we have flowers, we have breads, and we have croissants with them. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're talking about food a little bit. Help us understand the breadth of products you have from flour to. Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about.
So we've always specialized in breads and croissants, right? That's what we love to do. That's what we're good at. On the breads, most of our breads are made with a starter. So whether it's sourdough or country or some of the French baguettes, even some of the buns have a little bit of starter in it. Our croissants, well, everything is handmade. Everything is made in house. Our croissants are 100% butter. We also make some flours. Right now, we mill Idaho wheat, Idaho rye. We mill a little bit of buckwheat. We can do a lot of legumes and stuff like that. We're doing more and more private labeling. With our milling techniques, we can do a lot of different types of powder for companies, even if it's not our label. What else? Yeah, mostly breads and croissants. We have a few scones, a few other things, but that's what we like to do. That's what we're good at, like sourdough breads, buns, and croissants. That's what we like to do.
So do you miss being a restaurant, a cafe?
Well, yes and no. There's some part of it I don't miss, but the rush in the kitchen was always fun when I was younger. I used to love that, and the contact with customers was great. The cafe was always very well received from customers and what a good following. So that was fun. So I miss that part, but there's some other part I don't miss at all.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. It's really important for businesses to invest in the communities they serve. Can you tell us a little bit about how you contribute to the local community?
Yeah, so we donate everything that either is not up to par. When you do handcrafted baking, there's always part of the items that you're not gonna sell because whether it's too big, too small, too dark, something. And so we donate that. We work a lot with BSU Pantry, St. Vincent de Paul, the Women's Shelter downtown, where we donate all the unsold. What else do we do? We're working a little more with Life's Kitchen too. So we're probably trying to do more with them in the fall when they start their new session. What else? There's a lot of little donations that we do, believe me, and I'm sure everybody who has a business with a front door will relate that you get hit a lot for donation for pretty much anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and also your investment with the chamber, right? We really thank you for that, and Matthew. And I know we've talked for maybe 4 or 5 years, and you went back to France to open up a mill. Maybe share a little bit about that story.
Yeah, so 4 years ago exactly, I wanted to start a little organic flour mill in France and to really focus on the milling technique. So we bought another mill, the same one we have here, and we shipped it to France and we opened the mill over there. And really, that was amazing because I really got to play with it and do a lot of R&D with all the different types of flour and different types of grain and wheats. And so we did that for a few years. We started the mill. And then after a little while, I was missing the bakery, to be honest. And I didn't want to start another one. I really wanted to work on this one. And the bakery, well, with the growth in Boise, even without really trying, has grown a lot. and I really wanted to implement what I learned in France over here. So we came back with my wife and kids full time a few months ago. So now we're back in Boise full time.
We're so glad to have you, Mathieu.
And we love Boise. I'd love to being part of the chamber. And yeah, looking forward to more events for sure.
Hey, we're featuring you in our upcoming Business and Brews event. I think it's scheduled next week.
Yeah.
I think next Tuesday, actually, at Tyner's Alley, where you get to tell the story again to some other folks in a restaurant. I bet uses some of your bakery goods.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
While we have you for a few more minutes, Mathieu, is there anything else that you'd like to educate the public on while we have you?
Well, about our products. So the products we're working on with our flour, it's really unique because it's kind of like the old school bread where there's flour. People think of flour as an ingredient, but really it's a multitude of ingredients within a powder, right? You have a lot of additives and things, enriched flours. And so when you start talking about doing bread with just wheat, it takes a lot of work, but it's fascinating. And it's you have to be okay with a little bit of, you can call them imperfection. I'm not sure they are imperfection, but a little bit of variation. And but you end up with a bread every day at the shop. We have people coming and telling us they can eat our bread and nobody else's because that doesn't make their stomach sick, even though it's not gluten-free, right? We don't do anything gluten-free because we use wheat. But since there's no additives, we use starter and slow fermentation. It makes them taste great and a lot easier to digest for people. So if you've never tried us, come give us a try here or at the co-ops and let us know what you think.
Where are you located? Where can someone come in and give you a try?
Yeah, the bakery is on the bench in Boise. So it's 3651 West Overland. So it's Overland and Leta. So it's kind of halfway between downtown and the airport.
Okay. So right on Overland. Yep.
Yeah. 8 to 2 every day.
Okay. 8 to 2 every day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mathieu, thanks for your time with me today. Thanks for your investment in the chamber. I look forward to seeing you in person next Tuesday. Raise a glass and cheers to Gaston's Bakery and Mill.
Well, thank you, Paul. We love to be part of the chamber and looking forward to next week.
All right. Hey, tell the team, great effort. Give them a pat on the back from the chamber for all their work. Have fun tomorrow with your 90 accounts. I know that's an arduous task, but I've seen the white vans with the Gaston's logo. Give them a little honk and say, hey, thanks for the work you do.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
You bet. Have a great day.
You too.